Stu's channel.
Alright, so the first step on this project is to take all of your control horns and sand them up a bit right on the end with some medium grade sandpaper. And this is all horns. It might as well be done all at once. If you're using your 5-minute epoxy and you haven't used it in like a couple months and you've used a lot, you'll probably want to set your containers like this to let the stuff drain down. Otherwise you're going to be waiting forever for this stuff to come out. And yes, it does smell like cat piss. So at this point, we'll take some alcohol and we're going to clean these up a bit. We're just getting kind of the dust, etc. off here. It's really not a great big deal, but why not? And as I looked at these holes, these are indeed pretty much a friction fit. There's big production on taping this off and the whole bit just to install these. Not doing that. If I mess up, I'm going to use my alcohol to clean it up. So I'm going to go straight into both wings, right off the get. Right off the bat, both wings. Keeping my plastic nearby because I'm going to do just like I did with my Viper Jet. I'm going to put the wings back inside the plastic when I'm not using them. So there's these. 5-minute epoxy. Come on, everybody knows how to do it. If you haven't done it before, it's just equal parts. So we're going to be putting equal parts of one. And that's probably more than enough. And then the other. And there we go. A little dab more. And we're about at equal. Right there. I'm going to let my epoxy sit upright, or upside down I should say, and let that stuff set up on the bottom so it's easy to get out. You got 5 minutes to work with this stuff. This should not be a great big deal. This should be a situation in which I'm using this toothpick to get some epoxy down inside of this winglet, this control horn. So I'm going to drop it in, just like so. Take that up, take a control horn, and of course, put it in. So, you see that extra epoxy that's sitting there. Obviously, that's got to go, right? Not a problem. Presto! Bust out the alcohol. There's the epoxy. A wipe. Turn it over. A wipe. A wipe. Clean it up. You'll see no residue on there, no anything. There shouldn't be a smear, a blemish, a whatever. But this should seat. It should seat flat on there. You know, it's obvious. If I take a square, I happen to have a square, and I line this up, it is perfectly flat. Perfectly, and just perfectly flat. There's really no way to go wrong as far as I can see. Nothing. So that's all cleaned up. That's all nice. Next one. I'm just going to go ahead and put this one in. Same gig. Get some epoxy in there, nice and thick, kind of poking it in. More than enough. Control horn. Take my control horn and of course press it in there like so, so that it's nice and flat. And I'm going to have to reposition the camera angle. But same gig, alcohol and a clean and a clean. It's amazing. This alcohol just works like miracles. It just takes the epoxy right out as far as the surface is concerned. So you're seeing no residue, no anything, no fingerprint messes, no nothing. See, check it out. And welcome back. So I do have to install some servos on the flaps and the ailerons. And in order to do that, of course, I have to center my servos. This is the receiver I picked up today. This is a AR8000. I got a Talon 90 as far as the ESC is concerned. And I did pick up the retracts. I thought for a moment that I was going to have the option of not adding the retracts, and I wanted to test it. But that is not an option as I've looked through the instructions. So there's the retracts. These are going on. So I've got to attach something that'll work for this. And this is how I'm going to do it. I brought out this old piece of wood so I wouldn't burn my table up. I thought it was a good idea. And here's what I'm doing. There's that. It's out. I'm going to add just a little bit of solder, just a little bit, because the other line has been tinned. This line is already good. You can tell when it's in. You can absolutely tell. And it is solid. Do a little tug test. No, it's not going anywhere. So those are my two ends. This cools for just a second. Wow, that is heavy duty on. Wanted to peel the wire back. Yep, good to go. Now I get a small screwdriver, like so. Take this small screwdriver, you take this square end. Obviously you're seeing there's a square and there's a round. See those? Square and a round, square and a round, square, square side, round side, square side's positive. Now all you have to do, put it in, grab the side with a screwdriver, and push until it clicks. And it will click. Do the pull test. We're good there. And they both do click. Next step in this process is to get this end on. So this is the bullet connector from the motor. There's that section. I come over here on this side. Put the hole at the top. Just like you see, there's a hole right there. And this looks like it's going to take a lot of solder. Oh, yep. There we go. There it starts to set up. And of course the ends look like this when they're done. There's no markers on here, so it's going to have to be a motor test. Or just to see. This should work regardless. This will at least get my receiver up and running. And since we can't wrap everything up in one video, join me next time when I complete the build, or part 2, of this beautiful Habu 32X DF jet. We'll see you then on Stu's channel.